Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review YouTube channel for this latest Newcastle United show. My name's Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, if you do enjoy today's show, please do give it the thumbs up so that we can stay there in the search results on YouTube. And of course, if you're new, come and subscribe. Come and be part of this brilliant community right here on the channel. It is free to do so. But don't forget to hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we upload any videos such as this, or we schedule in the live shows. Now, on the news front, Eddie Howe has been speaking in Japan regarding Newcastle's transfer system and what he thinks of everything so far this summer. And he's actually come out and said that it is going to be very, very difficult for Newcastle United to bring in that marquee signing. Now, what he puts that down to is the introduction, of course, of PSR and FFP, and the transfers have very much changed. And probably changed for the worst. I mean, you get that impression through his interview that he's not really happy with the way things are now with regards to transfers. He says Newcastle United have to be very, very careful with what they're doing with regard to all the rules and rigmaroles that go with transfers and making sure that we stay, under the radar. Now, the fact is, we know the Premier League and the cartel clubs are just waiting for Newcastle United to slip up. This will be a much easier process for the Premier League to punish Newcastle, probably more than what we've seen for other clubs. They're just waiting for it to happen. So there's extra scrutiny on Newcastle United simply because of who the owners are. We all know that. But the fact is, guys, Eddie states that. Do you take it with a pinch of salt? Because Eddie has been known in the past to just sort of dumb down transfers, if you like. Remember last year in the USA tour, he said that the Harvey Barnes wasn't close when he was sitting in the next room doing all his Newcastle interviews. So, again, I'm not sure what to believe with Eddie Howe, but it is interesting because you can obviously see that being a case because of what FFP restrictions are on a lot of clubs at the moment. It was supposed to be to help everybody. We all know that it only helps the cartel clubs, and nothing is ever going to change with that. And even Eddie Howe now coming out and saying, other managers have said it as well, it is very difficult to make signings. You have to make sure that you're in a financial position to make that happen, and you cannot slip up. One little slip up and you're in serious trouble, especially Newcastle United. So I don't know what to make of it, whether, that is Eddie saying that there isn't going to be any marquee signing this summer, or whether he's just playing it down so it just keeps expectations low until we can bring somebody in. But let me know what you think in the comments. Sven Botman, now as we know, he's been injured for a long, long time, and last season was just a disaster for the Dutchman, of course. Being injured, coming back, and we know he'd come back too soon because he didn't look anywhere near the player that we know he is. He was injured. It was clear to see. He refused an operation because he thought, obviously the Euros were coming up and he wanted to play in the Euros for Holland. It didn't quite work out that way, of course. He got injured again and he had to go under the knife. There was no other option for him. Now, he's been out for a long time, expected to come back around Christmas time. He has posted on social media again. Now, he did this a couple of weeks ago. And explained that, he was feeling good and he was back at it. He's done it again now. Saying, just putting on social media, saying back at it, getting closer. So, of course, the media have picked up on this as to say that, he's ahead of schedule and we could see Sven Botman back, well before Christmas, that he was originally supposed to come back. Hey, if that's the case, fantastic. But one thing I think Newcastle will be doing is very much taking the cotton wool approach with Sven Botman. They won't rush him back. The lessons were learned from last season, of course. And even if Sven Botman says he's ready to go, it's up to other people to make that call. Because Sven Botman made that call last year. It wasn't the right one. And we've ended up losing him for a long period of time. He ended up missing the Euros, which he had a big chance of taking part in, of course. So I think things will be different with Sven this time around. He may well be back before Christmas. There's no doubt about that from what he's putting on social media. But again, Newcastle will wrap him up and make sure that decisions are made from the likes of Bunce, who's come in, of course, on the fitness side of things. He will take care of Sven Botman and hopefully get him back fully fit and not have a breakdown during his comeback to the field or, getting back into the first team. But it is positive news. Sven Botman is one of our best players. We know when he's fully fit, he's absolute quality. He's an elite player, probably a future captain of Newcastle United if he's here long enough. So we would would welcome him back with open arms as fans, I'm sure. But again, we need to make sure that he comes back 100% fit and ready to go. Joe Willock has also been speaking in Japan, and mainly about his injury hell last season. We all know that he came back for a brief time, of course, scored a brilliant goal in the Carabao Cup at Old Trafford, but then got injured again and missed the rest of the season. It's been a very, very difficult time for Joe Willock. However, again, a lot of positivity coming out in his interview, saying that last season he was in constant pain. He couldn't get any comfort. There was, despite resting and then coming back and trying again, he was still in a lot of pain. And that must have been awful for Joe Willock, because Joe Willock is one of these players that wants to be on the pitch. He gets on very well with Eddie Howe. He's got a tremendous relationship with Eddie Howe. Eddie has stated that. Joe Willock has stated that, but he just cannot get him on the pitch. Now, this season is very different. Of course, we saw him on Wednesday performing really, really well. Had a brilliant first half, and then, of course, he was taken off at half-time. He was roughly tackled in the first half and landed heavily on his right hip. That doesn't seem to be an issue. It was a planned substitution anyway to give him 45. He may well get another 45 on Saturday. So, you know what? I think I'm excited to see what we can get from Joe Willock. And the reason I'm saying that is what he said in his interview. He's now feeling great and ready to go. And he'll be there for Eddie Howe this season, no matter what's asked of him. So I take it that, Joe Willock knows that he's not going to be probably on the first 11 every game. Obviously, Tonali, Joe Linton and Bruno are the three that we suspect will get the go-ahead for the Southampton game. But Joe Willock is ready to do whatever Eddie Howe asks him to do. And that's really good. And that's a really good attitude from Joe Willock to have as well. What also he said was that he wants to force his way into the England squad this season. So he has big aspirations, Joe Willock, this year, and that can only benefit Newcastle United. He's 24-year-old, he's still young, he's still got a way to go in his career, and we, despite having seen some brilliant stuff from Joe Willock when he's fit, he can get even better. And that should excite us as Newcastle United fans. There's no doubt about that. So expect some big things from Mr. Willock this season, judging by what he's come out and said there. Now, little bit of transfer news is the fact that Newcastle could turn their attention to 19-year-old Barcelona striker Vitor Roque. Now, he only signed for Barcelona in January. However, he hasn't had a look in. It just hasn't worked out for him. He's barely been seen. They brought him in. They rushed the transfer through in January because at the time Lewandowski was injured. They weren't sure how long it was going to be. So they went and signed Roque. He's got a brilliant potential. He's a very, very good footballer. So just because he didn't get a look in when he came to Barca does not mean that he is not a bad striker. This could be the striker that Newcastle United look to bring on in the future. Of course, he's 19-year-old. He's got plenty of time left to nurture him and maybe learn under the likes of Isak and Wilson, and certainly under the manager Eddie Howe. He's got massive potential, and the fee could be around 40 million euros if Newcastle United do turn to him. Barcelona may well bite the bullet on him and sell him anyway. I don't think he's in their plans. From what this report says, he's not in their plans for next season. So it could be a transfer that Newcastle could look at. So it's maybe one to definitely keep an eye on. The other one is, a lot of people stating that Eddie Howe may show his ruthless side towards the end of the transfer window and bin Sean Longstaff. Now, the fee is round about £20 million. There's no clubs have declared an interest in him. This is just simply saying that if it comes to the crunch, then Eddie may be ruthless and sell Sean Longstaff. Personally, I'm not sure I'm sad about that, to be honest. I mean, looking at the way Sean played again in the friendly the other day, he started off slow again, and he started off slow last season. Got going a little bit, then the remainder of it was pants. So, is Sean Longstaff going to be a main man at Newcastle United? No, he's not. As a squad member, we've often spoke about that, saying he's a good squad member to have. But if it comes to the crunch, Eddie needs to get ruthless, then we may not see Sean Longstaff in a Newcastle United shirt much longer. But as I said, there's no links to any clubs. There's certainly no clubs have indicated that they're interested in Sean himself. That is, again, just if a ruthless side of Eddie has to come through, and we need to get rid of players. Personally, I want Miggy gone first. I think that, it's nothing against Miggy. He's just not good enough anymore. And I think, the way he played the other day, my God, Murphy's well ahead of him now on the right-hand side as far as I'm concerned. So that one, we've seen many, many times that the media have said that Newcastle United, their first player to try and get out the door is Miggy Almiron. But it all seems to have died down from Saudi and things like that. But again, keep an eye on it because you just never know with Newcastle. But there you go. That is the news for today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said at the start, if you have enjoyed it, give it the thumbs up for us. And if you are new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. Come and be part of an incredible community here. And of course, don't forget to hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we upload any videos or we schedule the lives. And of course, please keep voting for us in the Football Content Awards for 2024. That is pinned at the top of the description. Just put your details in and why you're voting for us. But make sure you put us in the category of Best Club Content Creator - Premier League. That's Best Club Content Creator - Premier League. So that's it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.